How many of you taking Psychology 101 in college? Most people? Some? I took it, and you have Abraham Maslow. You remember Abraham Maslow, hierarchy of needs. My question to Professor Popplestone, I remember him. Excuse me, how can I get this self-actualization? And he said something like, this is not something for you. This is only some special people. Dr. Popplestone, I say, I want that, and I'm going to get that. I didn't know how. He wasn't telling me, and I said, why do they talk about it if you can't have it? I don't like it. I want it, but you're not telling me how. So I'm thinking, how do you get this self-actualization? Because now it can be measured. There are many assessments talking about how you've progressed, because to me, progress is this, self-actualization. How do I get it? What can help me get it? Well, I think understanding that the work we do is the tool, the primary tool for our own self-development. So this morning I was talking in my session about, sure, I want you to do the work that you love. But until you get that, you should love the work you do because it's the most powerful tool for your own development. Think about all the jobs you've had in the past and how much you've developed through each one. More confidence in yourself, ability to talk to people, making some ground in your financial self-sufficiency, gaining things that you wanted, that you desired. You're developing yourself, you're self-actualizing. But now, what is the progress in this area? How would we understand that? I want to talk about two lines. There's a goal line and there's a soul line. The goal line is horizontal, the soul line is vertical. These are two of my professors at the university when I took applied psychology. We have been focused mostly on the goal line, all the material goals that we want, financial, house, family, material. This is the goal line. However, real progress is what can you take with you when you leave the planet? Nothing on the goal line. Nothing's going with you, but consciousness is going with you. Proven by all of the research on near-death experiences, people are very conscious about the other realms. The body and everything is left there, but my consciousness is in all these different realms. Read about it. It's interesting. So we want to grow on the spiritual side. Spiritual just means non-material. Spirit is non-material. Growing on the non-material side is the only thing you can take with you. The only thing. Now, none of you are thinking about this except me and you. You're thinking about it? So young? And I'm 10 years older than you. But you get 68, you start thinking, what are you taking with you? Money? No. Ask Steve Jobs, what's he taking? And some of the things he said that were most profound were the things just before he left this planet. About money, family, love, what you're taking with you. Consciousness is energy. It's going. It can neither be created nor destroyed. So everything you learn is going with you. All your experiences in consciousness going with you. Nothing on the goal line, everything on soul line. As we progress in our business, we have to remember, we have the option to remember that everything I'm doing is for the soul line because it's the only thing that's real. Real means it goes with me wherever I'm going next, on my next assignment. soul line, spiritual reality, and the physical reality goal line. I want you to remember those two things because we want to progress on both lines. Not that we don't progress on the physical. Of course, we're here. So I call it 200% of life. You should enjoy 200%, spiritual and material. This is called the ladder of self. It's like Abraham Maslow, but made by other philosophers. Starting at the bottom, where we're at the bottom of that ladder, going up to high energy and pure spirit, which is spirituality. And all day long, at work, you can go down the ladder or you can go up the ladder. If you go down the ladder, ego is now in charge. If you go up the ladder, your soul is in charge. The higher up the ladder you go is serving. I'm serving. The soul is here to serve other souls so that they can progress in consciousness. Up the ladder. In my book, I talked about legacy, and I put something for each letter. What are you leaving behind for others? What are you taking with you? So, love, what do you love? What is it that I'm going to leave behind that I do love? Emotions. How do you want to feel about yourself when you leave the planet? And right now, what is your goal? What's your mission, of course? You all know that. What actions will you take to fulfill it? What's your soul whispering to you, and are you fulfilling it? Because that's on the spiritual realm. And refine and boil it down. Mine is simple. I like to create a professional human being here and outside myself. Create professional human beings. Build professional human beings. One way that you can improve consciousness is through MT, a meditation technique that's available to everyone. Why do I pick it out? Because finally, I could say to Dr. Popplestone, aha, I got you. Because this particular technique, statistically, when reviewed against 42, come back here, to 42 independent research studies, found that it was 3 to 4 times as effective as other techniques in increasing self-actualization. What is that? Emotional maturity, positive integrated perspective, ability to live in the present. All these qualities, I don't know how to stop that. It's just going, I don't know why. Independence and self-supportiveness, moral reasoning, emotional stability, all those things that we would say are self-actualization, and you can measure it. And I've taken tests that show that I'm fairly self-actualized, Dr. Popplestone. You said I couldn't have it, but I'm getting it, and everyone should have it. And anyone can develop consciousness and their actualization process. Last year I talked about the return on character, because what the sum total of it is character. You're building character through your work, through your life, through your family life, through your travel. For me, travel builds character because you allow other cultures to refine you. That's why I keep coming back to Romania. It's refining me. 17 years worth. So travel is refinement of character. I've been to 95 countries now, 95. And I haven't even gone half of them. I'm not halfway yet. But it's refinement of character. It's developing the spirit, the non-material part of us is progress, is the soul line of progress. So this is the emotional intelligence, the social intelligence, the moral intelligence. That is spiritual. Because a lot of people, what's spiritual? You mean going to church? Well, that's partly spirit, but not all. Work is spiritual. Family is spiritual. You can't get out of it. But we have to have the intention to grow it, have the option to grow in consciousness, which is spirit. Because you can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't touch it, but we're all conscious right now. It's there. And when the body is not functioning, you are still conscious. Many studies show it. You're viewing your body as there, and I'm still aware, and I can travel, and I came back, and we made a decision I shouldn't die now, so I got to come back in the body. Read about near-death experiences, and you'll see you're not going to die. Your body will. The body will. And then you go to your next assignment. So leaders, great leaders, they don't desire to be great. They just desire to serve, because this is on the soul line. Service is about the soul line. Everything else is protecting the ego, building the ego, making the ego feel that it is immortal. But what is immortal is the soul. And the soul is here to serve and develop and grow. And this is true progress from my point of view, which thank you for allowing me to share with you. Thank you.